I've had this Dollar Tree mirror in my stash for like 3 years, and I finally turned it into something gorgeous. My name is Amanda with Manda Panda Projects, and stick around to see what I do with this adorable little mirror, you guys. All right, so it's kind of cute as is, and as you can see, it almost has like heart shapes in it. So I thought it would be perfect for Valentine's Day, although this one could really be used almost year round. So I took it and I painted the entire thing white with Waverly chalk paint, plaster. It was a pain in the booty to paint. Let me tell you, getting in all those little nooks and crannies, it took me forever with a capital F, but after a while I did get it done. I ended up doing 2 coats and it looked perfect. So then I took my antique gold rub and buff and I just started doing some rub and buff on the inner rim. And then I decided that I wanted to do some Kiehl's dark wax first. So I took the Kiehl's dark wax and I just rubbed it all over the grooves and the bumps and just around the entire thing to make this look like a really old, dirty, grungy mirror. I used a combination of like a finger dauber that you see on my finger and then just using my regular finger, rubbing it in, getting it all around. Really no rhyme or reason to it. Just stick it on the corners and the edges and the grooves. And then once it was dark and grunged enough, I went back over it with my antique gold rub and buff, and this is where it started to look awesome. You guys, you cannot see it on camera. It just does not pick it up. In person, this looks so much more gorgeous, but you're just gonna have to trust me, okay? The shot that I have at the very, very end of it all done, you can kind of see the rub and buff, but just trust me, in person, it is chef's kiss. All right, so then I took my little mirror, I painted it white. I took these stamps from Dollar Tree, and there's this one that has like some cursive, like French writing or something with a little like stamp, kind of postal type of stamp on it. And I just took it and I kind of randomly stamped it all in the background of this mirror. I left some spots blank, I overlapped some, I just really no rhyme or reason. And then I took my Pent Art Fine Line Crackle Varnish. This is a 2-step system. You do the first step, a nice, good coat, not too thick, not too thin. Then you dry that. And then you take your second coat, which is like the top coat. It's completely clear. And then you dry that. It has to be completely dry in order to crackle. But once it is completely dry, the lines are really, really fine. It's hard to see, so you got to go over it with some wax, or they have other things you can go over with, but I just always use my dark wax, and then it really brings that crackle out. See, you can see it coming out, and it just looks like this really old, crackled background with the stamps and with the wax, with the crackles. It just looks really old, and I don't know, I just love it. I love how it turned out. And now I want to do a heart, okay? So I took this wonky heart from Robbie's Crafting Corner, and I just used that. I didn't want to use this heart for this project, but I used it as the shape to trace it. And then I'm using some joint compound. Now, you guys, when I opened this joint compound, I realized it was freaking pink, but it does dry white. I ended up actually... I'm going to return it. I took a little tiny scoop out. I used the tiniest bit. I mixed it with some red paint, and it looks fine in the end, but I am going to return it and get the white kind just because it's annoying that it's pink. And so I mixed it with some barn red paint, and then I am just kind of rubbing it onto my heart. I wanted it to be like, I didn't scrape it really thin. I wanted it to be like thick and almost like puffy. So I put it on there like really thick. This is the first time I've ever done this, but I think it turned out really cool. It did dry. It like shrinks when it dries, kind of. So it dried a little bit thinner, but I think it looked really awesome in the end. So I want to try it next time with just like scraping it on like really thin and making it look more textured. But for this one, I wanted it to be almost like a poofy heart, like a puffy paint or something. And I think I achieved the look I was going for 95%. So, hey, practice makes perfect, right? First time I did it, I will be doing it again. Okay, so once that was all dry, I actually went to the boys' football game and I came back, waited for it to be completely dry. I glued a little twine bow to the top left hump of the heart. Then I glued a skeleton key, and then I put this mirror all back together. I screwed the backing back on. When I did this, the heart fell off, so the hot glue did not like the joint compound, so I ended up using some E6000, and that held much better. And then I wanted to bring out a few more of those crackles and go around the edge of my heart with a little bit more of that dark wax just to give it that extra grunge, extra antiqued. And there we go. Oh my goodness. How beautiful is this craft? Like I said, it can be totally be used year round. It doesn't have to just be for Valentine's Day, although it is perfect for Valentine's Day. See here, you can kind of see that antique gold. I kind of got it in the lighting. I don't know, the lighting on my camera, for some reason, the lighting's not looking good on my craft table. I don't know why. I didn't change anything, but here it is all finished. Let me know in the comments, what do you think of this one? And are you going to try something like this too?